Hey there, YouTube. This is Vargas XX78 with another collection pickup video. Went to pick up my comic books at the local comic book store, and since I have a bunch of really cool books to talk about, some really cool stories that came out this month, I wanted to share with you guys. So let's get started. Sorry about the glare. I'm still recording on the cell phone, so and I'm recording at night since this is really the only time of day I can actually do this. But I picked up, let's see if I can get this to work, Age of Apocalypse, issue 12. Don't know what the future of this series is going to be. They were able to separate the Apocalypse Seed from Weapon Omega. Then the Apocalypse power went to Jean Grey, and she was able to repel it out of her body. So the human resistance was able to contain the Apocalypse power. It's not clear, at least when I read this book, it wasn't too clear if Jean Grey was dead. Weapon Omega is back to being Wolverine. Sabretooth appears to be alive, and yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen with this series. I don't know if it's gonna end or if it's gonna keep going. I do know that next issue, issue 13, is gonna be a crossover between Extreme X-Men and Astonishing X-Men, where Wolverine from the 616 universe is gonna hunt down the Age of Apocalypse Nightcrawler that was running around with Uncanny X-Force. So Age of Apocalypse is still going on. I don't know how many issues this series has left. But I also keep picking up. I'm a huge fan of the Age of Apocalypse. I think it's one of the best Marvel crossovers, at least X-Men events that have happened in the time that I've been reading comic books. So I'm really digging the Age of Apocalypse, and hopefully that keeps going. Picked up The Superior Spider-Man, issue 3. And I don't know. I like the idea of Dr. Octopus. Let me switch here. Let's see if I can. I like the idea of Dr. Octopus being Spider-Man. I really felt like I mentioned in that video that I did with my brother that they were going to try to redeem Dr. Octopus, but Dr. Octopus is coming off still as a jerk. He's treating the Horizon people badly. He's treating everyone else badly. And we still have the ghost of Peter Parker haunting the book. I don't know. It's not what I hoped it would be. The Superior Spider-Man issue 4, where Doc Ock is going to fight against Massacre, who was this guy that was killing people, and is back and is killing more people. But the interesting thing about the end of this issue is that the Green Goblin is back. So that might be something to look forward to see how Doc Ock Spidey deals with a foe like Norman Osborn. That's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to seeing that storyline happen. Then I picked up Venom, issue 31. Flash Thompson is basically setting up shop in Philadelphia. He's got a new place, and he's fighting crime, and he's putting the fear into criminals, and apparently having a good time. But Eddie Brock, who's now fused with the Toxin symbiote, is hunting down for Flash Thompson. I would like to see them explain how Eddie Brock's still alive, since by the end of the Savage 6 storyline, he seemed pretty dead. But we'll see. We'll see what the creative team has in store for Flash Thompson. Picked up Avengers issue 5. Jonathan Hickman is still showcasing some of the characters that are part of the Avengers team. This time focusing on Smasher. He was a character that was part of the Shi'ar Imperial Guard, but they were fighting someone, and he got killed and his goggles got sent to Earth. A human lady found the goggles, became the new Smasher, and went back to the Imperial Guard before joining up with Captain America's team. So this was an interesting look at the new character introduced here. Then on issue 6, Jonathan Hickman focuses on the Captain Universe. That's part of this team. Between her and Hyperion, they have some really powerful individuals on that team. Picked up Thunderbolts issue 4. The Thunderbolts team is still trying to deal with the Punisher killing the leader. Thunderbolt Ross got upset, and the team is still trying to overthrow that dictator. The story continues in issue 5 with the Red Hulk bringing back the leader, infusing him with his Red Hulk radiation, so now there's a red leader brought to life, but he still has amnesia. And the Punisher and Elektra hook up on this issue. So a lot of stuff happening. I do wish the book had a little bit more characters, not that many, but a few more. But the guys that are on the team are still pretty awesome. Deadpool, the Punisher, Elektra, Venom. The only one that doesn't really make any sense as far as character is the Red Hulk. He's acting kind of weird on this book, but that's probably just because of the writer. Really awesome book. This is Batman 17, the conclusion of Death of the Family. Finishing off the whole tale of the Joker and his revenge against the Bat family. Amazing book. I really like this. I'm not going to talk that much about it because I don't want to spoil it for anyone that hasn't read it. But if you haven't gotten into Batman, check out this crossover. This crossover is pretty awesome. Scott Snyder has been doing great work with Batman. Night of the Owls was awesome. This beats it. But really good book, and the artwork by Greg Capullo was also pretty awesome. So amazing book that Batman is. Then I picked up Batman and Robin issue 17. This is kind of like a aftermath issue dealing with the death of the family. Batman, Damian, and Alfred are having dreams. The most noticeable one is Alfred. He's dreaming about how he was controlled by the Joker, and in his dream he actually kills the Joker, and he has a smile on his face after doing so. Really interesting issue. I'm really liking what Peter J. Tomasi is doing with Batman and Robin. Another really good Batman book. Picked up Batman Incorporated issue 8. I really like the Robin R.I.P. cover, reminiscent to the Batman R.I.P. cover. Batman Incorporated is my least favorite of the Batman books I'm picking up. I'm going to follow through it because I do want to know how this concludes, but by the end of the issue, spoiler alert, Damian gets killed again. This is like the 3rd time this has happened in this book. So, I don't know. I'm going to follow through, but I'm not really digging that. Another issue that I didn't really like that much was issue 17 of Swamp Thing, the finale to the Rot World. The story is awesome. The story was pretty cool. But the artwork on this, I mean, nothing against Jeff Lemire, but the artwork on this book was pretty bad. I did not like the artwork. And the finale didn't really end because at the end of the issue, Anton Arcade goes back in time, and then Swamp Thing and Animal Man go after him. So it doesn't really conclude the story. It concludes the future. So I guess they might prevent that future overrun by the Rot, but it doesn't feel like it actually concluded anything. So good story, good crossover, but this issue just had a bunch of problems. Picked up Smallville Season 11, Issue 10. Superman and Impulse are dealing with this, I guess it's a Speed Force demon that is aging people really fast. While that's going on, Chloe Sullivan is trying to enter the mind and access the memories of the Chloe Sullivan from Earth 2. And Lex Luthor is also trying to access the memories of Tess. So a whole bunch of stuff going on. And this storyline isn't as good as the Batman storyline, and even that one wasn't that good, so I don't know. Smallville is still in the maybe pile. Every time I think I'm going to cut it, I give it another chance, but I don't know. Picked up Simpsons Comics 199. Next issue is going to be the big anniversary 200th issue. And this one's pretty funny. Homer is looking at a show like Storage Wars, and so he decides that he's going to buy a storage, and he finds his clock. So the whole issue is him trying to sell off the clock, which is revealed to be a part of a. It used to be owned by a Nazi or designed by a Nazi, something like that. But it's Simpsons. Everyone knows I'm a huge Simpsons fan, and I love Simpsons comics. They really have some really cool stories. Picked up Justice League issue 17, concluding the Throne of Atlantis storyline. Aquaman takes the reign of Atlantis, and he becomes the king. They overthrow Orm, send him to jail, and the heroes are basically trying to deal with the aftermath. They're also building the team of Justice League of America, and the villains seem to be building a team, probably the Injustice Gang, or, yeah. So, no Shazam backup this time around, but I hope they bring that back soon, because the cliffhanger last issue was pretty cool. Then we have, actually I should have shown this one first, Green Lantern issue 17, which starts off the wrath of the First Lantern, who turns out to be this guy that tapped into the emotional spectrum and had the power to alter reality. So now he's trying to, he goes after the emotional spectrum guardians, and because he wants to absorb their emotion and power himself up. So, yeah, things are still not looking good for the Lanterns. The storyline continues in part 3 in Green Lantern New Guardians. Kal Reiner, who was able to access and control the emotional spectrum, gets a visit by the First Lantern and basically gets his butt whooped. But, yeah. I think those are the only 2 issues I'm going to pick up of that one because I don't pick up the rest of the Lantern books. Picked up the relaunch of Uncanny X-Men #1. I wasn't even going to pick this one, honestly, because of Bendis. He's the main reason. Bendis used to be a really good writer, but lately I haven't liked his work that much. A few things here and there. So I didn't like what he did with Avengers. Main reason why I didn't pick up All New X-Men, but it's Uncanny X-Men. It's a book that I've collected for a long, long time, so I decided to give it a shot. And in the first issue, again, spoiler alert, Magneto is plotting to betray Cyclops, which seems kind of out of character, especially after everything they've gone through. But also, picked up issue 2, all the people that were involved with the Phoenix are having problems with their powers. Again, this might have been explained in All New X-Men. I'm not picking that up, so I don't know. But Emma Frost no longer has her telepathy, where it comes on and off. Cyclops can control his optic blast. Magneto also has issues with his powers. It might also just be magic. Illyana Rasputin might just be messing with them. But they're basically still trying to recruit some of the mutants that have been reborn after the Avengers vs. X-Men crossover. And at the end of the issue, the Avengers show up. So, if nothing else, at least the artwork by Chris Bachalo is awesome. His artwork has always been a favorite of mine. So, picked up Uncanny Avengers issue 4. A lot of people like this series. A lot of people hate the series. I'm kind of stuck in the middle. There are some things I really, really enjoy, and then there are other things that I don't enjoy as much. It had an interesting cliffhanger at the end. Again, another spoiler alert. The Red Skull crafted Xavier's brain into his own brain so he can have access to the telepathy. But at the end of this issue, it's set in the future, so there's a Onslaught Red Skull. Apparently he also got the evil part of Xavier, so that seemed very interesting to me because I really like the Onslaught character. So I want to see how they deal with that and how that came about. Because an Onslaught, the return of Onslaught is very promising, but an Onslaught Red Skull that maybe Onslaught took over the Red Skull. I don't know. Want to pick up issue 5 of that. Another issue I picked up is Before Watchmen, the Comedian, issue 5. The Watchmen books have had a really weird schedule. Some books have released before they should have. A bunch of series already ended, and some are still going on. But yeah, this still follows the comedian in Vietnam. And I picked up Before Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan, issue 4. So the whole Watchmen experiment only has 3 issues to go. They have 1 more for Rorschach, and then 1 more for the comedian, and 1 for Ozymandias. So, yeah, it's nothing else. It was an interesting experiment. Some books were way better than others, but I still need to pick up the last 3 so I can end that. Picked up issue 2 of Deadpool Illustrated. Deadpool is still traveling through the multiverse, this time tapping into the old works of literature. The plan of Deadpool is that ancient literature, or not ancient literature, but old literature inspired the comic books and the superheroes. So Deadpool figures that if he kills the characters, that he's going to topple reality. And the only people that are going to be able to stop him is Sherlock Holmes and a team of characters, basically the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Marvel style, and they're going to try to stop him. So I'm interested. I love what-if stories, and this is an interesting concept, but I do want to see how Sherlock Holmes goes after a nutcase like Deadpool. Picked up Artifacts issue 25. With Witchblade there. Tom Judge gathers some of the artifact bearers to take the fight to the darkness, but the darkness has allied himself with some ancient demons, and they basically kick their asses. So Tom Judge decides that he needs the rest of the artifact bearers, so he's going to track down Witchblade, which is going to set off a crossover between the Top Cow books called Progeny. And that's going to be interesting. I want to see what comes out of that. Picked up Wolverine and the X-Men, issue 25. I was actually thinking of dropping Wolverine and the X-Men, but it's gotten really good. Wolverine decides to take the kids on a field trip to the Savage Land, and there he meets up with a character that was introduced in the Wolverine Origins miniseries, Wolverine's half-brother, Dog. I thought they completely forgot about that character, but it seems that they're going to bring him back. I don't know if he's supposed to be like the new Sabretooth, but Dog has a mat-on for Wolverine, and next issue is where he's going to start his revenge. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Picked up a Savage Wolverine issue 2. The story's interesting. The artwork's the main reason why I picked this one up. This month they're going to release another Wolverine book, and I'm going to pick that one up because of Alan Davis. I really like the artwork of Alan Davis. So I'm going to decide whether I keep this one or if I keep the regular Wolverine. But yeah, the artwork by Frank Cho is really cool here. And I picked up Wonder Woman issue 17. Where Wonder Woman meets up with War, and they're trying to still find the child of Zeus. And yeah, I've said this before. Wonder Woman has been a good read ever since the relaunch of the New 52, and I'm going to still keep picking this up. So it's a really good book. So yeah, that was the collection picker video. Like always, I do like to showcase the standout books that I feel happened this month. And my personal favorite, I'm going to pick Deadpool Illustrated. Again, I'm a sucker for what-if stories, and the concept of this is really interesting. But the best of the best is Batman 17. Amazing storyline, amazing crossover, and it stars the Joker in a really, really messed up, twisted way. So this is going to be my pick for the best comic book of the whole. So yeah, like always, thanks so much to everyone that watches the video. Please leave a comment or a suggestion, something that you might think I can do to improve these videos, book that you might recommend, or just, chat about comic books. I like reading comments, so thanks so much to everyone that watched, and until I see you all again, this is Vargas XX78, signing off.